the Helena Hicks. Good morning and welcome to Empower Hour with yours truly.
Good morning, and thanks so much for having me.
Good, good. So, why are you so famous?
Because I led the first sit-in the country in downtown Baltimore at Reed's Drugstore in January 1955.
January 22nd.
1955.
It was a bitter cold day.
Yes,
But you were downtown last week.
I was downtown last week. After 59 years, I'm still trying to make sure that memory isn't forgotten, and we're trying to preserve Reed's as a national monument that Baltimore has given to the world as a civil rights symbol.
What's the problem?
The problem is that we, since we are the largest population in the city, do not rally behind the need for a symbol. And city government is involved in wanting to sell that property because they're looking at money. They aren't looking at preserving African American history.
Do you feel that Black American history is preserved anywhere in Baltimore?
Not really. We have a few plaques here and there, but we don't do anything as a city, a joint effort to push us forward.
You know, I was up in Harlem and I so adore the Harriet Tubman statue. I so adore the Adam Clayton Powell statue. Do we have any such things here in Baltimore?
No, we don't.
In a majority Black city where so many great African Americans, including yourself, hail from, why don't we have such civil rights memorials, such African American memorials? Why don't we have this?
We don't have them because we don't demand them. We need to demand them. We have a city council that's predominantly Black. We have a large state delegate
Delegation?
group. Delegate. Well, it's both. I was trying to get around to saying it's Senate, stopping myself. It's the Senate and the House that is in Annapolis. We don't demand anything of them. They're supposed to represent us. They don't represent that point of view anyway.
Who do they represent?
Well, most politicians represent the people who fund their campaigns, and sometimes
I thought they were
personal
supposed to
privilege.
represent the people.
Oh, don't I wish that were true.
Well, didn't we have a time when Black politicians represented the people?
Yes, and we still have some. I'm not going to say none of them do that, but the majority of them push it the other way around. They turn it around, and they say, this is what we want. They never come back and say to their constituents, tell us what you want us to say when we go into the body that makes the rules and laws and policy. Tell us what you want. They come to us afterwards, or if they get in trouble, they come to us for support. But they don't come to us and ask us, what is it you want us to do to make this a better place to live?
I get the impression from many of the Black elected officials that I've interviewed in 20 years of being a journalist that they don't think the people are too smart.
I would agree. And
we're stupid.
Well, I could go back. I could really go down to that level, and maybe for a moment I will. As they said, when I grew up, it takes one to know one. So maybe you don't have people who use the innate intelligence that God has given us to try to understand what the problem is. People appear ignorant sometimes. You can't judge a book by its cover because they haven't had the experience, the exposure to be able to express that. Once you explain it to them, they are all gung-ho about it. But that is our fault. It's what we don't demand of the educational system, what we don't demand of our politicians.
These people brag.
We don't demand of our leaders, including ministers.
We brag about, and I've heard it, people brag about Dr. Andres Alonzo. This man removed 75% of the principals from Baltimore City public school system. Now, 30%, 40%, but 75%? Now, these are the people, more than likely, who raised me. I finished high school. I finished college. I've been to graduate school. But these same people weren't capable of keeping their jobs. Now, Dr. Alonzo is up at Harvard as if he's some type of genius. And this man absolutely demolished our schools and took the history away, more importantly.
Well, it's unfortunate to have to make this statement, but it is a true statement. When we were segregated and we were in control of our own educational system and in control of deciding what our curriculum would be, we got educated. When we had